Hi everyone, my name is Christy Bellardo and I'm an environmental education coordinator over at the Mohonk Preserve. Today I bring you a really easy craft called natural material sun catchers. These are a really easy craft that you can do with your children either inside or outside in your backyard. If you want to do this craft inside, you just have to go outside in your backyard for about 5-10 minutes to collect a few things. Now, the materials that you'll need for our natural material sun catchers are some contact paper, that clear paper that's kind of sticky on one side, clear all around. If you don't have contact paper, I've actually used packing tape, and I've just put a few strips together and you get the same effect as contact paper. Also a piece of paper that you cut out into a nice little frame of some sort. So I did a circle, but you could do like a heart, you could do a square, but just cut out a piece of paper and then cut out a window so you have a nice little frame to put all of your natural materials in. A hole puncher and some yarn when we get to hang our masterpiece afterwards, and then a whole bunch of natural materials. So some of the ones that I just grabbed outside are some pine needles, so I grabbed a whole bunch of those, some leaves, all different types of colors and shapes and sizes, as well as some hemlock leaves or needles, excuse me. Also some interesting types of grasses that I found. And then some little twiggy things. A lot of the materials that you're going to use today should be able to flat or compress really well. So trying to grab a pine cone or a rock or a stick right now for this craft would be a little challenging because they're thick and they're heavy. You want things that are somewhat flat and light. Now, after you collect all of your natural materials, you can come inside or go out on a table in your backyard, and we get to now compose our sun catcher. So the first thing that I would do is put a few strips of your sticky or packing tape together, or just to cut out a piece of contact paper and peel off that backing. And then you could take your frame that you make and just put it carefully in the middle of all of that sticky contact paper or tape. So it kind of looks like this. So it's all non-sticky on one side and all sticky on another. So that's your step one. All right, the next thing that you'll do is then you'll just get to play around with your frame area and place down your natural materials, and you can put them in any kind of pattern that you want. And when you put all of your pieces out onto your tape or your contact paper, just take a few seconds to kind of smooth it all out and make sure all edges and sides are completely sticking to that contact paper or the tape. And then you just continue to place your natural materials on in any way, shape, or form. And when you collected all of these natural materials, try not to collect anything that's still growing off of plants. We want to make sure that we're giving equal opportunity to everything to grow, but if you find them that are broken already on the ground, that's great. But try not to take a lot or pick a lot from living plants. A lot of these I found were actually blown off from a storm that we had a few days ago. But all you do is just kind of carefully press them all down onto your contact paper. I'm just going to do a few more pieces, and you can let things overlap over onto the frame. That's completely fine, because then you can see everything all nice and neat when you put it on a window so the sun can catch everything. And just kind of press everything down. I'm going to use some of these really cool pieces of grass. They have really cool shapes. Push them down. It can get a little sticky, that's okay. Parents might need to help a little bit. Let's keep going. A few more. And then one more piece I have left. Great. So I've placed a whole bunch of natural materials on our sun catcher. So I'll show you what it kind of looks like on the other side. And it's nice to kind of leave space in between your materials because then you can have the sun come through. So try not to overlap a lot. When you have finished, you can then take pieces of that packing tape and carefully place it over top of your sticky side. So you're gonna pretty much conceal all that stickiness into one, and just carefully continue to seal everything in. If you have contact paper, just put one whole sheet of contact paper over top so everything gets sealed in, and then just kind of press everything down to remove any air pockets that might be in there. I have 2 more pieces of tape to put on. And then one last one. Okay. So once everything has been taped down and not so sticky anymore, then you can take a pair of scissors and just cut off that excess tape or excess contact paper around your frame. And you want to leave a little bit of an edge just because that contact paper can separate if you cut too close to the paper. Now you've got this really cool, clear, transparent view of all the materials that you put on. And then the last thing that you'll do is take a hole puncher, put a hole through your sun catcher. You get a nice little hole. And then take that yarn and attach it to your sun catcher. I'm going to just do a little slip knot here. This is a little challenging, so parents or adults definitely help your child attach your yarn. And then go ahead and tie it at the end. Cut off the excess. And then there you have it, friends. You have a beautiful, really cool sun catcher with natural materials that you found in your backyard. And you could hang this in your window and the sun can come through it and you can see things get illuminated. And it'll make a really great decoration for one of your windows at your house. So have fun, friends. Enjoy your natural material sun catcher. Bye.